On January 30th, 2024, I uploaded a video going over the rise and fall of DC Comics in Fortnite. While most of the video served as a way to catalog all the different DC Comics skins that had been added to the game at that point in time, it also had another purpose. That being to speculate why there hadn't been any new DC skins added to the game since October of 2022. In the year since I posted that video, a lot of developments took place, resulting in the eventual return of the brand to the game in December of 2024. This is going to serve as an update to my previously alluded to video. I'll be going over the laundry list of developments regarding this topic, from rumors, leaks, business deals, and DC's triumphant return. I'll also be further speculating why this DC Comics drought happened in the first place, as well as going over what the future holds for DC and Fortnite. Also, I'll be linking my Rise and Fall video in the description of this one, and I highly recommend those who haven't seen it to do so, as it'll provide a ton of context to what I'll be going over here. Without further delay, let's go over the timeline of events. The first and most significant update in regards to DC's absence in Fortnite came on February 7th. It was announced that the Walt Disney Company had invested over $1 billion into Epic Games, giving them a 9% stake in the company. The investment was done specifically with the intent of bringing more Disney properties and ideas to the game, specifically new skins and a new, as of yet unseen game mode. The decision was universally praised by the Fortnite community and didn't cause any controversy whatsoever. It did, however, cause a lot of people to speculate that this was the reason for the lack of any new or pre-existing DC Comics representation in Fortnite. The logic being that since Warner Brothers is a direct corporate rival to Disney, the House of Mouse were using their newfound partial ownership of Epic to gatekeep Warner Brothers properties from Fortnite. Now, obviously, with hindsight on our side, we can chalk this theory up as pure nonsense. But back when this announcement was first made, I had so many people in the comments of my DC video declaring that Disney was the one at fault here. And like, I get it. It's pretty easy to point the finger at Disney given their less than stellar reputation. But I personally never believed this to be the reason behind the lack of any new Warner Brothers / DC properties. I mean, just really think about it for a second. Why in the holy mother of God would Disney pass up the opportunity to make free money off of their opponent's IPs? They wouldn't, plain and simple. But anyways, at the time, this was the only quote-unquote lead we had on the disappearance of DC Comics representation in Fortnite. And, well, it would remain that way for a handful of months. That was until, out of seemingly nowhere, on the first day of Fortnitemares 2024, a bombshell was dropped on the Fortnite community. Various leakers made the revelation that Epic had, for the first time ever, updated one of the DC skins to be compatible with the LEGO game mode. Now, out of all the iconic DC characters in the game, who do you think they bestowed this great honor upon? If you said Batman or Superman or Wonder Woman, I wish you were right, because it was actually Black fucking Adam of all characters. Yep, Black Adam. How ironic that the skin that originally marked the end of DC Comics' presence in Fortnite was now supposedly ushering in its return. Another less notable but still important find around this time was that the Caped Crusader bundle had been updated, heavily implying that Epic was getting ready to have it returned to the item shop. Ultimately, despite my personal feelings towards Black Adam, the fact that the skin was supposedly getting a LEGO style was pretty shocking news. If the claims turned out to be true, then it would mean with no uncertainty that Warner Brothers had rekindled their business partnership with Epic Games, and were willing to share their properties with them once more. Granted, they were just updating a pre-existing skin that had been in the game for 2 years at this point, but the implication certainly seemed to be that DC was on the comeback in Fortnite. Thankfully, we wouldn't have to wait long for an update on this development. 8 days later, on October 20th, an image of Black Adam's LEGO minifigure style was discovered and subsequently uploaded online. As you can see here, it looks just like him. Alright, despite this model's clearly unfinished nature, the fact that it even existed in the first place confirmed that, yes, DC Comics was back. Or at least, very, very close. The next update in the timeline would only cement this. On November 8th, the last 13 people who still play Rocket League noticed that the many Batmobile cosmetics from years past had returned to the game's item shop. Given all the previous rumors and leaks up to this point, as well as the fact that Rocket League is owned by Epic Games, people started to put two and two together. If DC content was returning to one Epic Games game, then surely it was returning to the main big one, right? In less than a month's time, we'd get a definitive answer. The transition from November 2024 to December 2024 will go down as a very notable period of time in Fortnite's history. It marked the end of the Chapter 2 remix season and, subsequently, the conclusion of Chapter 5 as a whole. It also, finally, after many years, marked the end of the DC Comics drought, as data miners were able to uncover fully completed, fully rendered LEGO styles for both the Catwoman comic book outfit and the Flash. On top of that, a handful of DC skins were updated to be compatible with kicks, allowing us to finally put Jordans on Batman. It had been almost exactly a year since the DC skins were last available to purchase, so to see them returning and being updated to be used in non-Battle Royale game modes just felt really, really good. Also, just the fact that Catwoman had the honor of actually being the first DC skin to receive a LEGO style, given her status as one of the first DC characters in the game, felt like poetic justice. Anyways, Fortnite themselves would later acknowledge this astonishing comeback by announcing on December 3rd that a bunch of classic DC skins would be returning to the item shop for the remainder of the month. And at the time of me making this video, the following skins have returned: Catwoman, The Flash, Beast Boy, Starfire, the Joker and Poison Ivy as part of the Last Laugh bundle, and both of the Harley Quinn skins. All of these skins received LEGO styles and kicks compatibility, which is probably why they returned before something like the Cape Crusader pack did, though I imagine that's on the way based on the leak from earlier. Now, I bet some of you are probably asking yourselves, that's it? DC's grand return to Fortnite is just a bunch of old skins? Initially, it seemed so. That was until on the 21st of December when two brand new Batman skins were added to the game. Ninja Knight Batman and Karuta Harley Quinn were the first DC skins to be added to the game since Black F***ing Adam's edition in October of 2022. I know 2 years isn't that long of a gap in the grand scheme of things, but again, as a huge DC fan, this made me feel all warm and fuzzy inside. And, well, that's more or less the timeline up to this point. It may have taken a while, but here we finally are. DC is back. The only question that remains is, well, why did it take so long to return? We already ruled Disney out as the probable culprit, so what gives? Well, in my original Rise and Fall video, I came to the conclusion that it was actually Warner Brothers' own incompetence that led to the DC drought. Through a combination of various failed projects, as well as the resetting of the DC cinematic universe, I came to the conclusion that Warner Brothers just didn't have the proper resources to collaborate with Fortnite. I explained it better in said video, so like I said at the beginning, go check it out. Anyways, while I still personally believe that these factors are at least partially to blame for the drought, I'd like to propose another reason for why it happened. I think that Warner Brothers purposefully stopped collaborating with Fortnite because of the cut Epic Games got from using their characters and IPs. I think that Warner Brothers thought that they could rely solely on their own upcoming projects like Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League and Multiverses to bankroll their video game endeavors. This did not pan out the way they wanted to. Look, I'm not at all implying that Warner Brothers' shit-ass video game endeavors are what caused them to crawl on their hands and knees to Epic Games, begging for the company to take them back like a long-lost lover. Except that's kind of exactly what I'm implying. Look, ultimately, the real reason why this DC drought happened in the first place will probably remain a secret between those parties involved. I just think it's really convenient that the DC skins returned after all of Warner Brothers' 2024 game releases either flopped or fell off, like Mortal Kombat 1. Obviously, I'm just speculating here. I fully admit that I could be missing the mark, especially given how much negotiating goes into these collab deals. Again, I just thought the timing was a little suspicious. So, what's next for the DC Comics brand in Fortnite? Well, during 2024, we actually got quite a bit of leaks regarding future DC crossovers. While a lot of the information I'm about to share comes from some pretty credible leakers, it should be emphasized that everything I'm about to discuss should be taken with a grain of salt. Starting off, I'm going to be looking at a bunch of claims made by the Twitter user Nick, as they received a ton of info related to future DC collabs. In February, Nick made the claim that Peacemaker and Robin were being worked on. Later in November, Nick would reveal that the Batman villains Black Mask and the Riddler were coming to the game, as was the Teen Titans member Cyborg. I'm willing to give Nick's sources here the benefit of the doubt, as they correctly predicted the addition of Magneto, Cyclops, and Colossus, all of which were added a couple of months later during the Wrecked season. In March, Fortnite leakers iFiremonkey and Wen Soing said that a collaboration based on the film Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom was coming. Now, I imagine some of you probably want to write this one off as fake given the gap between now and the film's release at the end of 2023. Keep in mind though, we got skins based on Thor Ragnarok over half a decade after the movie was released, so I don't think this is entirely impossible. This very well may be the item shop equivalent to the Aquaman Battle Pass skin. And finally, we have a more recent development. When asked about the possibility of there being future DC film content in Fortnite, DC Studios co-CEO and director of the upcoming Superman film, James Gunn, said, and I quote, "Yes, some of those things." While he obviously doesn't give a straight answer, it's pretty obvious that this is inevitable. There's no doubt in my mind we're getting a new Superman skin based on the upcoming movie to replace the Battle Pass skin. There's also the fact that the second season of Peacemaker is dropping in August of this year, and if you'll remember, he was one of the collaborations mentioned by Nick. Only time will tell if these rumors turn out to be true. I really hope they are though, since I've been wanting Peacemaker in the game since his debut in the Suicide Squad. Not to mention, it would be really nice to finally complete the Teen Titans. Speaking of which, and I just want to preface this by saying I have no source for this whatsoever, but I swear to God, I remember hearing a rumor that Epic wanted to add the DCEU version of Cyborg to the game, but weren't allowed to because of, well, you know. Somebody please back me up on this in the comments. I swear I'm not insane. With that being said, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video and found it to be informative, go ahead and leave a like and subscribe. Feel free to comment which DC/Warner Brother characters you'd like to see get added in the future. I'm partial to Scarecrow and Clayface being added, as they're some of my favorite comic book villains of all time. Join my Discord server to stay up to date on the release of new videos, and be sure to use my creator code when you check out at the item shop. I hope to see you in the future, so until next time, I'll see you in the next one.